Well, it all bothers me. It all bothers me, the fragility of the human mind. You know, that so everybody forever was like, Kamala Harris is the worst vice president. She's the least popular vice president of all time. And then in a moment in time, all of a sudden she's our solution. She's our hero. Everybody's with her. All these social media posts about her. Try Googling a negative story on her. You won't find one.
So,
ta-da!
Okay, you've got me started, Officer Harris. They've been doing this live for years. So in 2019, our pal Tulsi absolutely nuked her in that second debate. And
Right.
if you looked at charts at the time, she's kind of, Officer Harris is like doing okay. First debate, she comes out, Joe Biden, you're a racist. The Democrats were looking for an alternative to Bernie Sanders that wasn't Biden. She starts going up in the polls, right? Second debate comes out, Tulsi, being a good Hawaiian, knows how to roast the pig, just completely slams her. Not only that, she has no counterpunch. She goes on Anderson Cooper and she's like, well, I'm a top tier candidate, so of course people are going to take shots at me.
So, you guys, we have Joe Rogan, and he actually filed a lawsuit against MSNBC for taking clips of him praising Tulsi Gabbard and posting it as if he was praising Kamala Harris. Now, MSNBC did this, and Joe Rogan was upset. Joe Rogan was not happy about it at all, rightfully so, and he decided that he was going to pursue legal action, which is epic. We love that. Now, in pursuing legal action, MSNBC actually issued an apology, issues correction for TikTok clip confusing Joe Rogan's praise for Gabbard as endorsement for Harris. MSNBC issued correction to a TikTok video appearing to confuse Joe Rogan's praise for former Hawaiian Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard with praise for Vice President Kamala Harris, after Rogan and Gabbard called out news outlets for deceptively editing a video to make it seem like the Joe Rogan Experience host was heaping praise on Harris when he was talking about Gabbard. MSNBC issued a correction. We have removed an earlier version of this post that incorrectly implied Joe Rogan was talking about Vice President Kamala Harris. He was referring to Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah. I love whenever they do this. I love whenever they issue a correction after the damage is already done, and then nobody sees the correction. Nobody's going to see the correction. They already thought that Joe Rogan had endorsed Kamala Harris. There is no real way for you to estimate the value of, or the devalue of, Joe Rogan's credentials, or the value that it brought Kamala Harris campaign, which makes this it makes it extremely important for the media just to do their fucking job. That's plain and simple.
Was exposed today for yet another set of lies. They deceptively edited together this video of different Joe Rogan comments to make it appear that he was singing the praises of Kamala Harris.
She's going to win.
No, she's not.
She can win. She is a strong woman. She is a person who served overseas twice. She in a medical unit. She was a congresswoman for 8 years.
Yeah.
She is a person of color. She's everything you want. She's going to win.
No, she's not.
She can win. They just want no Trump, no matter what.
This is not reflective at all of the truth of what Joe Rogan said. And I think MSNBC has since taken this post down. But what's really serious here is that not only does Joe Rogan deserve an apology, there's actually something far bigger at stake here. This is yet another example of how MSNBC is working hand in glove with the Democrat elite and the Kamala Harris campaign to try to spread lies, simply things that are not true. So what this means is MSNBC is a for-profit corporation. They are helping Kamala Harris's election campaign, and what they are doing through their platform would qualify as an in-kind contribution to her campaign. It's worth a lot of money. The fact that they are doing this should require the Federal Elections Commission that manages campaign spending and campaign finance, require them to report this as an in-kind campaign contribution or to be punished for abusing their position in trying to use their platform that has nothing to do with journalism. It is purely a propaganda platform, and that they are using this in order to try to help Kamala Harris get elected.
And this is not the first time.
Oh, man. Oh, man. This is exactly what I'm saying. It's just how do you put a freaking number on how valuable that was for Kamala Harris? It reeks of the DNC. It reeks of it. It's just like you can almost see how bad the smell is. It's disgusting. And MSNBC and Joe Rogan have a long history. MSNBC came after Joe Rogan for the horse dewormer, and Joe Rogan actually sat down with I don't know if it's the CEO of MSNBC. He was a top guy at MSNBC, sits down with him and literally says, like presses him on it.
About me taking horse medication. We should talk about that.
That bothered you.
It should bother you too. They're lying at your network about people taking human drugs versus drugs for veterinary.
Calling it a horse dewormer is not a flattering thing. I get that.
It's a lie. It's a lie on a news network, and it's a lie that's a willing lie that they're conscious of. This is not a mistake.
Yeah.
They're unfavorably framing it as veterinary medicine.
Did you see that thing that the FDA put out?
What did the FDA put out?
It was a tweet, and it was snarky. I admit it. They said, "You are not a horse, you are not a cow, stop taking this stuff," or something like that.
Why would you say that when you're talking about a drug that's been given out to billions and billions of people, a drug that was responsible for one of the inventors of it making
Nobel Prize.
winning the Nobel Prize in 2015?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
a
he
drug
knows
that's
this.
been
He
shown
knows.
to stop viral replication in vitro. You know that, right? Why would they lie and say that's horse dewormer? I can afford people medicine, motherfucker. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, why would you lie about this? Why would you lie about this? MSNBC pushing, for profit. Tulsi Gabbard does an excellent job of saying this. For profit. That's all it is, okay? You're just a propaganda media machine. You're an hour-long advertisement for Big Pharma. For Big Pharma and Pfizer for the vaccines, right? So what are you doing? Well, your hour-long ad is going to be about ivermectin today on the show. And instead of you actually covering news, you know what you're just doing? You're pushing Big Pharma. Instead of you covering actual news on your TikTok, you're covering the fact that Joe Rogan just endorsed Kamala Harris. You're a propaganda machine that's just spewing lies 24/7 because you're not actually covering the news. You're just collecting paychecks from DNC, from Big Pharma, in order to push out this bullshit. That's it. That's it. It's disgusting. I hate it. I strongly hate the media and what they do to these people. It's actually sad. MSNBC, Rachel Maddow. Imagine listening to Rachel Maddow and thinking that you're like a sane person. If 50 years ago you took somebody to the present and you walked them into a living room and there was a man watching Rachel Maddow, they'd say, "What is this lesbian doing on your TV screen and why are you watching it?" What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Check out our new merch. Like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.